If you've been looking to buy your first home anywhere near Sacramento right now, you've probably had that moment where you open Zillow, find the house that you love, and then boom, see the price tag and go, okay, maybe not that one. But here's the good news. Not every corner of the Sacramento area is out of reach. There's still a lot of pockets that are growing fast, reasonably priced, and have that first-time buyer sweet spot. Enough value to get in now, and enough growth coming down the line to make it a smart long-term move. So today, I'm breaking down the 3 hottest up-and-coming areas near Sacramento that first-time buyers need to have on the radar: Natomas, Woodland, and Rancho Cordova. By the end, you know which one fits your lifestyle, your commute, and your budget's best. And hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny Lau, your friend in real estate here in Davis, California. I help people every week move, buy, and sell across Davis, Woodland, Sacramento. And if you're thinking about making a move, this channel is built to make your search smarter and smoother. All right, let's jump in. So let's talk about Natomas first. It's Sacramento's quiet comeback. Natomas is one of those neighborhoods that people used to overlook. For years, it's known as that area north of downtown. But right now, it is one of the most conveniently located, fastest growing parts of the region. If you rewind back to the early 2000s, Natomas was booming. New homes everywhere, new parks, new schools. Then development stalled because of the levy concerns. For almost a decade, things went quiet. But those levy upgrades are now done, and the city flipped the green light back on. Builders came back, new businesses open, and the communities start to thrive again. Let's talk about the location and lifestyle. The number one thing Natomas has going for it is location. You're 10 to 15 minutes away from downtown Sacramento and about 10 minutes from the airport. That's gold for people who travel or work hybrid jobs. North Natomas, in particular, has turned into a real suburb hub. Wide streets, newer schools, modern parks, and a ton of retail that didn't exist a decade ago. There's North Natomas Regional Park with lakes, walking trails, summer events that make it feel like a self-contained community. If you want a suburban feel without being far from the city life, Natomas hits that balance. Let's talk about housing and affordability. As of late 2025, the average home price in Natomas sits right around $525,000, which is about 20% lower than Sacramento City's average. You can still find condos and townhouses in the high 300s and single-family homes in the low to mid 500,000s. Most homes here were built after 2000. So think open layouts, 2-car garages, energy-efficient system, and HOA maintained park nearby. So for buyers used to that 1950s bungalow in East Sac or Curtis Park, it's a completely different experience and a whole lot less maintenance. The energy of Natomas is a youthful energy here and now. You've got local restaurants like Pete's Brew House, Natomas Tap House, Temple Coffee, Chef Frank's, plus new shopping centers that make the area feel modern and connected. It's diverse, it's active, it's been growing steadily without feeling overcrowded. So if you're looking for something newer, close to downtown, and you don't mind a little suburban layout, Natomas is one of the most practical first-time buyer markets in the entire Sacramento County. Let's head west to a place that has quietly become one of the best-kept secrets in Northern California, Woodland. Woodland used to be a classic farming town, quiet, local, a lot of agriculture, but in the last decade, it has been transforming into this perfect mix of small town charm and modern livability. Okay, regarding its location and commute, it is about 20 minutes north of Davis and 25-ish minutes from downtown Sacramento. It is straight up on I-5. So if you work in Davis or Sac, but you want a bigger yard and a newer house and calmer pace, Woodland location is quite ideal. It is also just 15 minutes from the Sacramento International Airport, so it's still really connected, just without the city noise. Let's talk about affordability and growth. The median home price in Woodland hovers right around $480,000 to $520,000. So that means you can still get a 3-bed, 2-bath home, sometimes even newer constructions, for under $550,000. New neighborhoods like Spring Lake or Heritage Park are attracting young professionals and a lot of first-time home buyers who want something modern without pushing the budget past the breaking point. The city is also doing a great job planning for growth. Schools have expanded, and downtown Woodland has gotten a serious glow up. If you've not walked Main Street recently, it's full of beautiful historic brick buildings, boutique shops, antique shops. Blue Notes Brewing Company, Morgan's on Main, is actually really lively on weekends as well. Let's talk about lifestyle and feel. Woodland still feels slower than Sacramento, but in the best way possible. People wave at each other. You can go to the Saturday farmers market, grab coffee in downtown, and bump into the same folks week after week. It also has something very interesting. It's called the Velocity Island Park. It is a full cable wakeboard park with a beach, volleyball, outdoor concerts, so it's something totally unexpected for such a small city. It is a mix of that relaxed living with surprising amenities that's putting Woodland on the map. I want to also talk about the investing angle. So if you're thinking about long-term, Woodland has strong appreciation potential. Davis is practically built out, and Sacramento's core just keep getting more and more expensive. So naturally, the growth path is west. Woodland is already seeing that wave. The home values have climbed roughly 5 to 7% per year, but it still feels affordable compared to Northern California markets. So if you're a first-time home buyer who values space, calmness, community, Woodland is absolutely worth a weekend drive to check out. Okay, number 3. And so now let's head east to a place that's been quietly reinventing itself, Rancho Cordova. If you've driven through Rancho a decade ago, it almost felt, industrial. Business parks, older homes, and not much of anything else. But that story has completely changed. Rancho Cordova has become one of the most active housing markets in the Sacramento metropolis. Rancho sits right along Highway 50, about 15 miles east of downtown. It's surrounded by major employers like Intel, VSP, Dignity Health, and it also has easy access to both Folsom and Sacramento. That means if you work in tech, healthcare, or government, your commute is short and your options is wide. There's also light rail access and expanding bike trails along the American River Parkway, something that's helping connect Rancho to the rest of the region in new ways. The houses here cover a wide range. Older ranch-style homes in the central Rancho start about, $400,000. Meanwhile, new communities like Anatolia, Stone Creek, Rio del Oro, they feature modern layouts, energy-efficient builds, and community clubhouses with pools, gyms, and parks. And they usually are somewhere between $500,000 to $650,000. These are full master planned neighborhoods with schools and shopping centers that built in already. They look and feel like Folsom or Elk Grove, but just at a lower price point. Rancho Cordova is also one of the few Sacramento suburbs that's actively building its future. The Sunrise Corridor project is modernizing infrastructure. Wider lanes, newer bike routes, and safer pedestrian crossings. And the city has been strategic about attracting employers, especially in the green tech and logistics space, which keeps local demand for housing strong. There's a sense that Rancho Cordova is the next spot, and it is catching the same upward momentum that Elk Grove had 10 years ago. Regarding lifestyle, Rancho is something for almost everyone. Families love the newer neighborhoods and parks. Young professionals like the access and affordability. Outdoor folks love being near the American River Parkway, which stretches all the way to Folsom Lake for biking, kayaking, hiking. There's also a growing craft scene. Fort Rock Brewing, Old Hen Town Beer Works, and also like local taco spots that keep the weekend fun and casual. So if you want new, accessible, and convenient, Rancho Cordova delivers. Let's do a quick comparison. Which one is right for you? Let's line them up side by side for a second. If you want proximity to downtown and newer homes, go with Natomas. It's modern, it's convenient, close to everything. If you want small town community and long-term value, check out Woodland. It's affordable, authentic, full of history, and still under the radar. If you want new constructions and big growth potential, that's Rancho Cordova. It's the underdog with serious momentum. So all three share one key trait. They're still in the early chapters of their growth trajectory. That's what makes them great first-time buyer markets. You're not buying into the peak, you're buying into potential. And then let's step back as well to look at the bigger picture. If you zoom out, Sacramento is spreading outward. And these are the cities that's benefiting from that wave. Jobs, infrastructures, and affordability are pushing people beyond the core of the city. The difference between making a great investment and an average one often comes down to timing. And right now, in my mind, Natomas, Woodland, and Rancho are in that sweet spot. They're established enough to feel stable, but still affordable enough that appreciation has room to run. Here's a real example for you. I helped a couple last year who were set on East Sac, the budget's right around $500,000. So we looked, and honestly, there wasn't too much, and the houses that fit their budgets were too small for their needs. So we widened the search, and they ended up buying in Woodland Spring Lake neighborhood for slightly less than $500,000. Now, that's not a mansion. It is still a very boutique but cute home. It is big yard and great schools, and they love it. So 6 months later, a nearly identical home on their street sold for slightly more than $500,000. Now, did that make them millionaires? No, but that's roughly a $50,000 delta in terms of value increase just by choosing the right market at the right time. So that's the power of buying where the growth is heading, not where it's already arrived. Here's a final thought. At the end of the day, your best first home depends on your lifestyle. If you love convenience and city access, Natomas. If you want charm and community, Woodland. And if you want something new and forward-looking, Rancho. No matter which direction you go, all three are strong, practical entry points into the Sacramento market, and each has the potential to grow with you over the next decade. So before you give up thinking that everything near Sacramento is out of reach, spend a Saturday and go explore these three areas, drive to neighborhoods, grab lunch, talk to people. You will feel which one fits. And when you're ready to take that next step, I love to help you make it happen. As always, my name is Danny Lau, your friend in real estate here in Davis, California. If you're thinking about making a move anywhere in Davis, Woodland, Sacramento, Elk Grove, Rancho, I'd love to be a realtor of choice. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.